Okay, so we are going to basically continue our coverage over Ultimate Marvel Team Up. And we pick up with issue number 11. Now, this is technically the second time that Spider-Man in the Ultimate Marvel universe has teamed up with the X-Men. The first time was actually Ultimate Marvel Team Up number 1, where he had teamed up with, well, Wolverine. And now this time he'll team up with some more X-Men characters like Wolverine, Cyclops, Beast, Jean Grey, and even Storm. Now, here's the thing, guys, because remember, when it came to Ultimate Marvel Team Up, it was given to us after the first story arc of Ultimate Spider-Man, where Peter Parker became Spider-Man and fought against the Green Goblin. And so when it came to the Ultimate Marvel Team Up series, it was technically used as a way to kind of explore this brand new universe that was given to us by Marvel Comics in the early 2000s. And so they used Spider-Man as a way to kind of explore this brand new universe. He met all these different kinds of characters, you know, like Wolverine, Iron Man, Hulk, and Punisher, and Daredevil, and the list goes on. Now, here comes the big problem with Ultimate Marvel Team Up books. Most of them literally suck. And on top of that, most of them are not really canon at all, because most of them do not get referenced at all either. My biggest example is Ultimate Marvel Team Up number 9, where Peter Parker meets the Fantastic Four. Marvel came out and said that one right there is literally not canon at all. And so as we dive into issue number 11, well, this kind of continues one of my two problems I have with this actual series, which is that it sucks. Issue number 11 is really more just Peter Parker skipping school and running into the X-Men. And guys, I'm not lying to you here, because really the story starts off with Peter Parker, you know, telling Aunt May that he is about to go to school. And she's so proud of him because, you know, he's been a good student, a good nephew. He's not skipping school at all. But in reality, homeboy is plotting to, you know, skip school. And so as soon as Aunt May leaves, homeboy goes to hang out with Mary Jane, Liz Allen, Kenny, and also Gwen Stacy, the characters we met so far in the first 2 or 3 story arcs of Ultimate Spider-Man. Either way, he skipped school to hang out with them. Now, something else to mention here is that by this point in the Ultimate Marvel timeline, Peter Parker told Mary Jane that he is Spider-Man, so she knows, but no one else knows, especially not Gwen Stacy. Either way, you do have our, you know, young teenagers here get in a car and they drive around. They're all kind of like, oh my gosh, where can we go? The day is ours. We can go anywhere in the city. And they literally go to the mall. And really, you can kind of tell that when it came to Brian Michael Bendis, he did not put a lot of effort in this storyline at first. Now, at the end, you can kind of see that he did put some kind of effort, but still not a lot. Either way, once you have our characters arrive at the mall, they're very upset about the idea that they're at the mall, because the whole point of skipping school is that you should be able to go to different areas that you don't usually go to because of time crunch and also after school jobs and different kind of things. And so now you have more time, you should be able to go do different things that you don't usually do. But of course, they go to the mall. Now, when they do arrive at the mall, you have Kenny run off to go get some food. Mary Jane wants Peter Parker to kind of leave with her so that, you know, he could use his powers, kind of swing her around town because he's now Spider-Man. Except that is the moment where Peter Parker realized that somebody else that he has met before has walked into the mall as well. And that would be Wolverine, because like I said, these two characters met in Ultimate Marvel Team Up number 1. Now here's the thing though, because at first, Wolverine does not see Peter Parker. Matter of fact, he has no idea what Peter Parker looks like. But we have to remember that when it comes to Wolverine, well, he has the ability to remember people by their smell. And so, of course, while you have Wolverine, Storm, Beast, Jean Grey, and Cyclops, no Colossus, and Beast too, as they walk into the mall, you have Wolverine realize that, I smell something very familiar, like Spider-Man. And he looks over at Peter Parker and realizes, oh, you're Spider-Man. This is what you look like. Now, the last time these two characters saw each other, we have to remember that Peter Parker told Wolverine that he's 26 years old. And so you have Wolverine kind of like, 26, yeah, you're a kid. But on top of that, this is now Wolverine now knowing what Peter Parker looks like under the mask. And as soon as Peter sees Wolverine, well, of course, he begins to freak out. But of course, you have Wolverine being, well, Wolverine. And so he decides to, mess with Peter Parker. Kind of walk up to him and his friends and be all like, hey, Petey, I haven't seen a long time, buddy. And of course, you have Peter Parker freaking out because now you have Wolverine here. And Wolverine is kind of like, hey, did he tell you guys that I'm Logan? I'm his long-lost cousin? Now, here's the thing, though, because the rest of the X-Men cast has no idea what Wolverine is doing or how Wolverine knows Peter Parker. And so, in reality, they kind of believe in the idea that Wolverine and Peter Parker are really cousins. But we already know that is not true. Either way, you have Wolverine continue to mess with Peter Parker. And Homeboy is like freaking out because he is wondering if Wolverine is going to reveal to Liz, Kenny, and Gwen that he is, of course, Spider-Man. And so, he does kind of have a good reason here. Now, this leads into a certain kind of problem. And that would be Liz Allen. Now remember, in the Ultimate Marvel Universe, Liz Allen hates mutants a lot. Like literally in the first story arc of Ultimate Spider-Man, I want to say, possibly the second or third story arc, she tells us that she does not like mutants at all. Which is kind of crazy because down the road, she finds out that she is a mutant and she becomes Firestar. Either way, when it comes to her, she realized that Cyclops is wearing a visor. And she's kind of like, are you a mutant? And he says, yes, I am. And she literally freaks out and runs away. Like, just like that, gone, bam, track star speed. And you have everybody wondering what in the world just happened. But her friends, Petey, Mary Jane, Kenny, and also Gwen, they know because Liz is scared of mutants. Now, this was the part where you have Bendis to kind of begin the process of saying like, hey, she had an uncle that was a mutant, but he disappeared after doing some horrible things. That uncle is actually her father, and her father is the Blob. Either way, she leaves. Now, the rest of the story is really more of Gwen Stacy asking the X-Men a set of questions to kind of get to know them better. The idea of like, okay, what is a mutant, or what is it like to be a mutant? Because again, this was the early days of the Ultimate Marvel Universe. We just got Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Marvel Team Up, and we think we have Ultimate X-Men Volume 1 as well. But that's it really. You don't have, the Fantastic Four, all the Ultimates, or the other miniseries that came out over the years in the Ultimate Marvel Universe. So for Gwen Stacy, it's her kind of want to know more about what it's like to be a mutant. And so, of course, her first question is really more like, hey, how do your powers work? She asks Cyclops, and he explains how his powers work. And then after that, she then kind of like, okay, how did your parents feel about the idea of you guys being mutants? Now, most of the X-Men have no idea who their parents are, or like, for example, most of their parents kind of gave them up at a young age. And so, unfortunately, only the ones who actually have parents can say, some parents were very accepting, and other parents, were not that very accepting. They kind of hate us, and some loved us no matter what. Now, you also have Gwen ask the X-Men, okay, do you ever wish that you were never a mutant? And you have them say, no, we're very proud of the idea of being a mutant. It's very interesting and kind of cool. It makes us different. And then her last and final question is really more about the idea of, okay, but are you afraid of humans? And you have Jean say no, because their goal, the X-Men goal, is to make a world where mutants and humans can live together with no kind of problems at all. And that's their goal, to show that mutants are not evil, but on top of that, mutants and humans can work together as one. And that's really it for this particular storyline. It ends on that note, and we get told that Peter Parker is going to meet Doctor Strange of the Ultimate Marvel Universe. And that's it, guys. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.